I heard something really interesting, which was the science isn't different, COVID isn't different, but the way that the UK has responded is completely different. And you mentioned New Zealand. I mean, the only way we're similar to New Zealand is pretty much in land size, but the population is a lot smaller. But it does lead me on to something that I did a bit of research into, which was I just thought after all of these questions got submitted, because we are really close to the end now, is that of the interview, not of COVID. We've got a little while left of COVID, but my thoughts after reading all these questions and now hearing your answers is that we obviously really need to praise our NHS more than we are doing already, because for context, the UK is currently ranked 5th in the world in number of cases, behind Russia, Brazil, India, and the USA. We have nearly 3 million cases. We're 5th in the world for the number of deaths, behind Mexico, India, Brazil, and the USA, with 80,000 deaths. And we're 10th in the world for number of serious and critical cases. And our population is so small compared to those places. And of course, it isn't a wonder why our NHS is struggling with this, struggling to cope with the number of people coming through with this. These countries that we're at top of the leaderboard with have way larger populations. So theoretically, we should be nowhere near. So like the USA, 330 million people, Russia, 146 million, Brazil, 210, India, 1.3 billion people, and we're 5th in the world. We have 67 million people in the UK, and we are 5th in the world for cases and deaths. Of course, our NHS is struggling. It's insane. And when we compare ourselves to countries that are closer in size from population, we are still way off. So South Korea, 51 million people, 1,100 deaths. Germany, 83 million people, which is still a lot more than us, 40,000 deaths. And in one day of the UK pandemic in deaths, we exceeded Australia's total death count for the entire of their pandemic. They only had 909 deaths so far. So we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to these bigger countries. We shouldn't be anywhere near them. And we're indebted to our NHS workers. And like how you were saying that people still don't believe it is just insane to me.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is people forget, look at the size of our country. Like, people don't necessarily weigh those things up. And, the thing that I think frustrates me probably a lot is that people go, we have these winter pressures every year. Yes, we do. We do have winter pressures every year. This is something that we have never seen before.